All right, now we fast forward a war. We're leaving out of the early days, World War I. And we're heading into World War II. Now, I am a history nerd, and I believe solely that the study of history is very important, and that war has driven major innovations. Whether it's a pretty thing or an ugly thing, it still is. You can see more of the innovations of the rotary motors. Now, World War II, the bomber jackets and the uniforms. Now, this is a depiction of what the early personnel looked like. They had their infield 1917s, denim jeans, which actually was kind of new at the time. As you can see here, this is a strategic desk. Morse code and other coding things were very crucial to secrecy in World War II. So there was a technology boom in World War II. And as you can see, the German Enigma versus the Sagaba encoding machines. Encrypting machines, I should say. Bombay. We start to get into more complicated bombs. More faster aircraft. This is the P-40E. See, we have an Allison V1710 making 1150 horsepower. Max speed of 362 miles an hour. The venerable Mitsubishi Zero flown by the Japanese. And we have the B-25B. B denotes bomber. And we have the Wright 2600 making a massive 1700 horsepower. You can see the rotaries. You can also see the compressor for the supercharger, the exhaust. Just explosion of innovation. gunner pod. He's got some electronics in there too. Those are 50 cal machine guns. There's another drone. You can see that they start to move far away from painted fabric into wrapped and riveted. And these are the early days of World War II. And we have the ladies. Some of the outfits that they would have worn. The BT-13B Valiant. Some uniforms. I gotta get a knife like that. I need one. Those aviators. Imagine flying all the way home with one of those in your nose. Now we're getting to the point if 2 engines aren't enough. How about 2 on each wing? Hi.
Enjoy your visit?
Yes, thank you.
First time here? You've been here before?
I've been here about 4 or 5 times.
Okay. All right. Well, have fun.
Thank you. And as you can see, the markings indicate you can get a little bit of history just on the markings. You can see how many bombing rans they rode. And you're starting to see 4 engines per wing. Four of these massive. Now I saw this on Pawn Stars, but the guy only had this part. But there shouldn't have been any reason why he had this lower part. This was a sighting tool that made dropping bombs from these aircraft less of guesswork. You can see this one's more lit. that Bombay right there.
Make sure you keep your shots. That means you should aim in front of you, not directly at it. You'll get the hang of it when you get up there.
And you had to be the bravest man walking on the planet Earth to stuff your body in there alongside two 50 cal machine guns going off basically right beside your ear. And now that we're flying higher, we need to bring our own atmosphere, because when you're flying at 25,000 feet, it's cold. The oxygen is so thin that you'll pass out very quickly. Evolution of the helmets. And you also had to be brave to stand in a B-17 turret with two 50 cal machine guns basically right beside you. And we had the early days of anti-aircraft artillery. We had the 88 millimeter Flak 36. And as you can see, it uses trigonometry, just like all artillery. Bring down planes. And there's a quote saying, "Flak so thick you could get out and walk on it." The Margie H started the integration of the inner wing machine guns, taking them away from the prop. Well, no, not just yet. And like I mentioned, these were on a cam, so they were perfectly timed not to shoot the wing. BF-190. We're starting to get into 850 horsepower from a Daimler-Benz. See the firepower starting to increase. And as the war progressed, there was more need for airborne jumping out of these aircrafts with a parachute. Now take a look at this. One of the earliest ballistic missile, the venerable German V2. WWII Day, victory in Europe. And as you can see, the artillery became very massive. A 50 mm cannon.
Reach whatever.
And what we have here is one of the early jet engines. One of the biggest technological advances they had to overcome was to keep the fins of the combustion chamber from melting, because all that heated, compressed air-fuel ratio was very hot. As you can see here, some of the earliest of currency. So many souvenirs, so much symbolism on these notes. You can see little Joe went on numerous bombing missions. As you can see, the rotaries are getting even more intense. The Wright R3350 duplex Cyclone. You can see different uniforms. You have the Mexican Air Force, the Japanese Imperial Navy pilots, Royal Italian, the Air Force, the German Luftwaffe, Brazil, Royal Air Force, Great Britain, and the great US of A. What's that right there? Well, you already know, it's 1911 A1. Bomber jackets. Full bomber equipment. Remember, it's cold up there.
Museum of the United States Air Force. We invite you to join a free